everyone watching at home. You're with Adelaide Eternal. We're bringing you our Vintage Challenge. I'm Sarven McLinton, and in the booth with me is Beckett Wolfe.
G'day, guys.
So we have a match here which includes Truckee, or Tim, on the right.
It's Tim. It's Truckee.
Truckee. His full name
His birth name is Truckee, but we just call him Tim for fun.
Got it. And then we have Brendan Dobson on the left. So let's have a look at Brendan Dobson's player profile. So Brendan is a mainstay of our tournament scene. He's been powering through, and as you can see, he has a whopping number of top 8 finishes. And he's also got Legacy and Highlander victories in the challenges under his belt. And he's looking for the Vintage Challenge win, which might be today.
Right. Well,
he's brought a spicy list today.
He's brought the spiciest list. Thank you, Brendan, for this spicy list.
We're going to do our best to explain this in under 60 seconds.
And to be honest, Sav, if Brendan gets angry that I haven't done this list justice, then,
I would get angry if you don't do this justice, because it's awesome.
Well, it is awesome, but it's also impossible to explain.
Yeah.
Where do I begin?
Okay, so we begin by
4 Enlightened Tutors?
It is
that where I begin?
A bunch of tutors. That's what it is. It's 4 Enlightened Tutors, 1 Vampiric Tutor, 1 Imperial Seal, and a Demonic Tutor. And all of these cards find all these artifacts and enchantments in your deck, which include the win cons such as Time Vault and Voltaic Key. Simple win con there, we all know that one. But then you've got the more complex win cons. So let's say, for example, the combination between Helm of Obedience and a Leyline of the Void.
It's just got so much going on,
yeah.
Because you're saying that, and I also want to interrupt and say he's also running 7 ley lines. So there's this whole turn 0 style, I'm going to get these free enchantments out before you've even played and have this ridiculous game against Dredge, or this ridiculous turn 0 against Storm. Storm's turn 1 win might not beat this deck, because he could just
game one.
He could have 2 ley lines, and you're like, oh, how do I beat this? I'm running Tendrils and Yawgmoths. How do I beat this?
So good. And then he's got Chains of Mephistopheles to make the control players cry, right? And then he's got Rest in Peace to make the Dredge players cry. Or these are all in the main deck. So he can tutor for them consistently off 7 tutors. It's so cool. And then he's got Solemnity and Phyrexian Life. And if you haven't seen that combo, something happens and basically you can't die, right?
Yeah, that's pretty well it.
Yep. And then he's got this crazy way to just have a 1 card that wins the game, which is Enduring Ideal. So for the rest of the game, you can't cast spells, but instead you search for enchantments. Then you search for a sequence of enchantments, including Dovescape, so that people can't cast spells that, say, kill your enchantments or interact with you. Instead, they just make doves. And then you get Solemnity and Phyrexian Life, which means that you can't die to damage. So it's just this kind of weird lock.
When I first saw it, I thought, he gets Dovescape, then he gets Moat, and then he can't be killed by the creatures. But then I was like, but the creatures are flying, so how does it work?
Ensnaring Bridge? But they're 1/1s.
But I realised the logic is the Dovescape lets your opponent not cast spells, basically, but they instead get creatures. But those creatures are never going to be fast enough to kill you, because the next turn you get Phyrexian Life, which is essentially gain 10 life. So they're not really going to be able to cast enough spells to kill you that turn. And then the next turn, you get the Serenity, which lets you not be able to die to damage at all. So
this is awesome. And then we haven't even mentioned all the spicy pieces, like the main deck Moat, which wrecks Dredge, it wrecks Monastery Mentor type decks, it wrecks shops.
Main deck Trinisphere, main deck Ensnaring Bridge, main deck Crucible of Worlds. How does he fit all this in? Main deck Sorcerer Spyglass, I don't even know what that does.
It's kind of a pithing needle, kind of.
You missed 2 other search cards in the form of Expedition Map.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to find some land, including Strip Mine, Wasteland,
Dark Depths
combo in there as well. Got Glacial Chasm to stop them from
Besiege you,
tempoing you out.
Some really sweet lands.
This deck is so cool. Now, we did have a conversation about the deck, and afterwards, after the tourney, basically he was saying that, he has good matches against Storm, he's got good matches against Shops, he's got good matches against Dredge, and the problem is, the hole in the deck is against Control. Because Control can, counter the critical pieces of your combination of cards, and you have a whole bunch of card disadvantaged tutors. You've got 6 whopping card disadvantaged tutors. So Control really does have a field day with you. Now, unfortunately, if we switch over to Truckee's deck, He is on a control deck. So unfortunately, we might not be able to actually see the power of the Toolbox Tutors deck today, but instead we are going to see a control versus what would you call Brendan's deck? Is it a combo deck?
It is. I think it's every combo under the sun, right?
Okay. All right. So Truckee is on Grixis Thieves. Grixis Thieves really revolves around its namesakes, which are Dak Faden and Notion Thief, which allow you to basically lock your opponent out of the game from being able to interact with you. You draw cards, they discard cards. It's nasty. But it's also got alternatives like Tinkering out Blightsteel, and you can get an early Vampiric Tutor into Tinker against shops, and it basically shores up your weak matchup, which if you don't get a Tinker, you find it really hard to beat shops.
Let's get down to the games. What do you reckon?
Sweet. Let's do it. So the players have... Okay, Brendan has drawn his 7. Truckee has drawn his 7. All right.
So Truckee's on the right, and Brendan on the left?
We're going to know as soon as the ley line comes out. You can tell us in the comments which side is Brendan. How quickly did you spot when a ley line hits the battlefield? There's a ley line!
Can you imagine playing Dredge and then you'd be like, Judge,
can you please confirm that this ley line of the void is in their main deck? So yeah, this is Truckee on the play, but Brendan made the first game action, which was placing a ley line of the void on. But then on his turn, he's playing Mox Pearl, Marsh Flats. Leyline of the Void does actually do work against Grixis Thieves. All the cards you discard
work against
a
lot of decks. Yeah. I mean, it does work against Oath. It does work obviously against Storm, Dredge, and any control deck. It's probably really quite bad against shops.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't interact with Tinker, but it definitely turns off. It doesn't interact with Voltaic Key, so this is a bit scary. But it does turn off a lot of things in Grixis Thieves, right?
Yeah.
Dak Faden
Brendan would be running a null rod.
He's discarded. Can't flashback. Can't dig through time.
Brendan doesn't... He's got a lot of lucky sort of pieces, but he doesn't have a lot of, like...
You said locky, not lucky, right?
Locky.
Locky.
Lock. They lock things like
Poppin' and Lockin'. Talarian Academy.
Yeah, that's a good one. But he doesn't run too much in the way of removal. He's got Oblivion Ring, which is a bit slow, but expensive. Quite an old school card, but I think it's just a necessary part of his deck.
He's got that Gideon's Intervention,
which is Meddling Mage
plus
Ruined Halo.
Okay.
Together, literally. That's what it is.
And it's an enchantment, so you can find it.
Yeah. With the during Ideal. We had to look at a lot of cards.
ET.
This
a lot of things.
So is that Demonic Tutor?
Yep, DT. There's the first tutor of the game.
There'll be many more.
So he leaves the Pearl untapped because obviously the deck's basically black-white, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's running blue at all.
No, and he's not running. It's really just Academy for the additional mana.
When you think black-white, you think, he's going to have like bobs and stuff, in wastelands and sinkholes or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like
some kind of Death and Taxes in Vintage or something.
Yeah, Dead Guy Ale or something.
It's just not like that at all.
But no, it's combo wombo. It's combo central.
I think there could be a Enlightened Tutor at the end of Truckee's turn here.
Yeah. So does DT find one half of the combo and then a reminder to exile the fetch land? Again, not irrelevant if we're talking about Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time, Snapcaster Mage.
Truckee is it's his first time coming down to one of our live events. He plays a lot on MTGO. And he's got a lot
What's his username? Do you know?
I don't know his username.
We'll put that in the comments because you'll probably end up playing him. He's in every tournament.
Yeah, he's basically in every tournament. He's a big name. He's got some really nice... if you play on MTGO, all the pros will play Vintage because it's a bit of a smaller community, although it's quite large. And he's got some really good scalps on there. So he doesn't play much on in real life. So I'll be interested to see how the skills... because he doesn't need to choose.
He's never had to shuffle a deck, right?
Well, he's never had to shuffle. He's never had to choose to put cards into exile when Leyline's out because they just go to exile.
Triggers.
It's not a choice. Yeah. But he's a very good player on that. So I'm very interested to see how Truckee goes today.
Yeah. Well, he's leading off with probably Dak Faden. No, Tinker. Okay. Well, this is a tinkering away the Voltaic Key to get a Time Steal. The combo.
Wait.
And it's exiled. Respond with Enlightened. No, just let him do it. Yeah, just let him do what find what it is that he's fetching, and it's most likely going to be Blightsteel Colossus, am I right?
I think you'd be right.
So make Blightsteel and say, you better have Swords to Plowshares. But
You better.
you better. Why are you order?
Pretty good. You've been practicing that with camera, mate.
No, I literally have never said
I
that.
guess
in my
Brendan's
life
sort of
before.
showing it. I mean, Tim would have no idea what Brendan's on. Is he a black and white deck? He sees the Tolarian, so there's obviously could be some kind of blue. He sees
I look at this, I'm
Leyline.
like, Esper,
Got
like,
no
you got
idea.
Scrubland. Like, I just don't know what you're on.
Was
But
he
then
playing
again, whenever I
Sarah's
sit down,
Sanctum?
if I sit down across from Brendan Dobson, I'm like, I have no idea what you're
Yeah,
on.
I'm not even gonna try.
So I don't know what you're tutoring. I just hope you do, because the lines are so complicated.
Well, I
don't
just
know.
remembered another line is I believe he's got Sarah's Sanctum, which is a card you don't really see in Vintage. You see it in some specific legacy lists, which it's like Tolarian Academy.
Unrestricted.
Unrestricted. You get to tap to add white equal to the amount of enchantments. Now, most of the enchantments are quite expensive in Dobby's deck, but he's got the ley lines, which is 0 mana. So he can just drop down 2 or 3 ley lines, and then that's tapping for 3 on turn 1, which is really, really sweet. So another cheeky little interaction there. But I was saying to Brendan, he puts in a lot of work, and he's always coming up with new lists. And I like to play stock standard list and then tweak, as a lot of people do. But I've got to hats off
from scratch.
Absolutely,
like, every
hats off
time
to him
from scratch.
From scratch, yeah. And he wins a lot of games because in this position you have no idea how to play. You don't know what the deck does, and sometimes I get frustrated by that. And then I thought, you know what, like, good on him. Like, he deserves it. If he's putting in the effort to make a confusing deck, then
I've been thoroughly confused and wrecked by it.
I've been confused. Are you confused?
Yeah, I feel like I'm confused.
Comment below if you're confused.
He ET'd for Black Lotus, which went on top of the library. He drew that. He played it. He tapped the Academy for 2.
He's obviously doing
cracking the
something.
Black Lotus.
There's a Blightsteel Colossus on the other. We forgot to mention that.
His helm. No way. Okay, yeah. So then maybe that's what he DT'd for. All right. So it's Force of Will. Okay. This is the Force of Will check, right? Like, you either have it or you don't, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think, kudos there, because he's facing up against the Blightsteel Colossus on
So
turn
it
3.
got countered, but he plays Solemnity. So does he not die to Blightsteel Colossus?
Blightsteel Colossus.
Oh man, this
so
is
Solemnity reads you can't get counters.
Okay, you
and
can't
obviously,
get any poison counters?
So obviously counters, poison counters include, so you can't get
This
any
is so good. Like, how many times someone plays a Blightsteel and you're like, yep. And you go to your turn and you're like, didn't find it, yeah. Scoop your cards up. And he went, 1, I'm going to win the game.
Yeah.
Oh, you counted it. I'm going to make you not win the game. Like,
was
2 cards.
Seven mana worth of cards as well.
And he knew the line to ET for Black Lotus to make this actually possible.
Oh, it's fantastic.
All right,
It's
so this is Merchant Scroll. All right, Merchant Scroll for what? I don't even know what to get. Like, something, Chain of Vapor? Like, I don't even know. What does he have?
Yeah.
What does he have? Let's find out.
That's another thing, is there's a lot of artifact destruction. I mean, I don't personally run it or rate it that much. But
He's got Echoing Truth in the main deck. Ooh. What are you doing, Truckee? This is going to win you the game.
You big
cheeky
lumbering
Echoing Truth.
cheeky
Oh, there it
bugger.
is.
Wow.
I can't believe it. This game just went from like one person's going to win to the other person going to win to the other person going to win, like back and forth in the span of 2 turns.
And
wow.
I don't think Truckee's really learned anything at all about Dobby's deck.
So how do you sideboard after this? So he's like, you play Tolarian Academy and you play Helm Leyline main deck, and
He
you
just
play
brings in all this
Solemnity?
enchantment destruction, mate.
Oh yeah, the old
that
Grixis
vintage
enchantment.
I was just about to say before, some people were still running Steel Sabotage main board in Vintage.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't rate it personally, but like,
A
sure,
null
fine.
is legit though.
Could you imagine playing against this deck and just having all this artifact destruction and literally nothing in the deck to beat enchantments?
Yeah, you're like,
it's very realistic.
you'd be looking at the number of times that I have the 15th card slot and I'm like, oh, okay, it's either going to be a Steel Sabotage or it's going to be, something else of that vein, right? And you almost always cut Steel Sabotage. It's like, it's not good enough. I'll play something good. And, a Braid's taking this slot and so on. But then, how if you ever played Steel Sabotage and you look at it and you're like, what if this was a null? Like, a null is legit. A null used to be as a 2-of in like every blue sideboard back in the day.
You need it for the necros and the bargains and stuff, right?
And now it's like, it's fallen massively out of favour. But if you're playing a blue deck that doesn't have access to artifact or enchantment destruction, You know, you're like playing blue, black. Well, I can't even think of something that
Blue,
doesn't have
black,
access to. Yeah, right. And you, I don't know, blue, black, land still? I don't know. Okay, you tell us if there's one that doesn't have access to enchantment artifact.
When Sarven and I get confused, comment below and give us the answer and pretend like it's a question for the audience.
Yes, that's right. Perfect. So if you're playing a deck that doesn't have artifact destruction and you're blue, then Steel Sabotage is great, right? But just imagine in this matchup, you're looking at 2 Steel Sabotages in your sideboard and you're like, if this was a null, I'd wreck you.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Mental Misstep to counter a null. A null would just wreck him. But that's the thing. Brendan's built a deck that's actually really robust in the format because you're like, well, you know, what do?
Yeah.
What do against enchantments?
And what do you sideboard here?
So if I'm Truckee, I'm bringing in Energy Fluster.
Probably Energy Flux.
Right.
He's there, but Helm.
You're also an artifact deck, so you got to manage your energy flux. So you just bring in an Abrade.
Maybe Thoughtseize to get more information.
Thoughtseize, yeah, that's it. You bring in 2 Thoughtseize and an Abrade, and you take out Mindbreak Trap. Right. Anyway, let's look at the more interesting one, which is what do you bring in if you're Brendan Dobson?
Comment below. What do you bring in if you're Brendan Dobson?
If you're Brendan Dobson, can you please comment below and tell us what you brought in? Because I don't know what to do here. Bottomless Pit, Aura of Silence. He told me there's a combo with Bottomless Pit does something.
He's got 3 Serum Powder in the sideboard.
Wow. So you aggressively mulligan in.
So you mulligan into a. So you put the Serum Powders in when you're playing against Dredge or something, so that you can aggressively mull into all those ley lines you've got.
Okay, all right. You're constructing cool ideas for this, so I can see that. Yeah, okay. Well, Bottomless Pit is in there for control decks, right? So it's a 3 mana enchantment that during each player's upkeep, that player discards a card at random. So it like mini hymns them, mini hymn, half a hymn.
Yeah,
and then you bring in Nevermore and cast it on like Tinker or Time Vault if they have
Grid as well.
Key.
Defense Grid.
Okay, Defense Grid.
Go on like turn 1, Enlightened Tutor. Put Defense Grid on top. Play Defense Grid. Seems strong. Right.
Well, we're going to find out now. So they've drawn their hands of 7 because we are thoroughly confused about how to sideboard here.
I imagine he's probably taking out a few of the ley lines.
I assume Leyline of Sanctity is useless here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a Thoughtseize Time Walk, Jason Mind Sculptor hand. And this is a Grafdigger's Cage, Pithing Needle, Trinisphere?
Vampiric Tutor. Couldn't quite get them all out there, could you, Sarv?
No, because I was confused at that thing. You know, those aberrations of cards that were printed as special sets. Anyway, so we have Ancient Tomb into Pithing Needle.
Very proactive.
Wow, what do you name? Time Vault? Voltaic?
You haven't seen a Time Vault, maybe Dak or something.
You've seen Voltaic Key, so you know the combo's in there. Jace Mind Sculptor? Dak Faden?
But you're running... Dobby's running Time Vault himself.
Wow, Dak Faden then?
JC boy?
Oh, man.
Comment below.
What would you name? Blind name, Pithing Needle, blind name. What would you name? Turn 1. But he also gets to deploy Grafdigger's Cage. So the bot is not scary. You don't have to worry about dying to poison. And so then you probably shut off Voltaic Key Time Vault. So then the 2 combos are gone.
Why did he side in Grafdiggers?
Can you read it? Visual CBT.
Visual CBT. One of the better activated abilities.
I totally understand now why you named that.
You know what I was about to do? I was about to put my hand over the screen to shadow it on the screen.
I was going to reach over with 2 fingers and enlarge the screen. Didn't work. So, well, we'll find out. We'll find out when.
Why Grafdiggers?
Well, Grafdiggers turns off bot, so you can't. Yeah, and you also turn off Snapcaster Mage. But
you do.
But I think he died to bot, so he doesn't want to die to getting poison counters again. All right. So that's a triangle sphere and the wrong art on the skull. So I guess that's Vampiric Tutor.
I don't know what was that card? So did he discard?
That's Trinisphere.
Okay.
Welcome to my world. I don't know any of them.
Well, the Grafdiggers is similar to what we were talking about before, where you side it in for the combo, but then you lose the control.
Yep. Totally understand. So if you got VT in hand and you're passing the turn, what do you VT for at the end of turn? Assuming your opponent does nothing.
The problem is...
Oh, he's doing it main phase. Ooh.
I guess to play around Flusterstorm or something?
Flusterstorm, yeah. Well, he's got...
That's fair, because if he's got the misstep...
Is that Ancient Tomb? Is that the one?
Yeah, Ancient Tomb.
Okay. So...
But it could be anything.
It could be...
another...
It could be a boat. You don't know. So he VT's main phase.
It's just VT for half a combo? Or does he VT for the lock piece like a Trinisphere or something?
Well, Trinisphere's gone, but Thorn? Thorn here!
Thorn?
Like, I don't know if he wants to Thorn, but he needs to draw the card because it's on top, so...
Yeah.
What's that last card in hand? Oh, we don't know. He's just main phasing to be sneaky. Be a sneaky cheeky when your opponent is tapped out. And
yeah, definitely pros and cons. So you play around Flusterstorm, and you play around top deck Misstep, but you don't get as much information for what you want to VT for.
Yep. I really hope he shows us so we can know what is in the mind. Oh, is that Bottomless Pit? I think it was Bottomless Pit. Was that one?
It's Bottomless Pit.
Oh, this is so good.
I
Like
really
want to see these cards.
I really want to see a Bottomless Pit.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Hypnotic Spectre, but it's an enchantment, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's Bottomless Pit.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. This is like Monospice. Every one of Brendan's decks is Monospice.
Like, have you ever seen that? It's the kind of card that you just get so angry losing to.
Yeah, I can imagine it. Because he's already on two cards. So he's like, well, I don't care about card advantage. I'm just going to wreck your hand over the course
of sort of reminds me of a balance sort of style play where you're down and you balance. And just like totally wreck them.
Do you think balance would have been a play here? If he VT'd for balance and cast it?
Balance could be good, yeah.
I think balance was in his sideboard though. So yeah, maybe he didn't bring it in because he knew that it wasn't.
But I think sticking something at Bottomless Pit.
Oh, yeah, resolving better. Bottomless Pit.
Right? Like, balance is fantastic, but then you're both in the same position. Whereas Bottomless Pit can consistently ruin Truckee.
Yep. I love how whenever Brendan Dobson is on camera, you could take sound bites of anything that we said and it sounds ridiculous out of context. Like, if you weren't watching the game and you heard someone and say, Bottomless Pit is definitely the thing you find off Vampiric Tuning here. You definitely
say that about a lot of Magic conversations.
like what?
What do you say about Dubby?
Are we playing Vintage? What? Okay, so he's playing land and playing Bottomless Pit and having no cards in hand.
It's pretty good.
This is delicious. Yeah, this is
I
a
was
reader.
Gonna read it.
Like, we had to read it.
This is Truckee going like, is this like a budget deck? But there's a Lotus?
Oh, it's a Mana Drain. Oh, no. Okay. This is going to be a little bit one-sided now.
I think so. Mind you, guess what he's got enough mana for?
Oh, JC boy.
He's got enough mana for Enduring Ideal.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about what Truckee's going to do with Mana Drain. But yeah, you're right. Top deck Enduring Ideal. Yep, there's a soundbite. Top deck Enduring Ideal. Exactly what you need to see here in Vintage.
Boy, very nice. It's a nice shows why Mana Drain, was so strong back in its prime.
Yep,
and is still getting played today.
Yeah, it's still getting played. Like, it's definitely not well positioned in Vintage, but when it's played and when it's good, is like, wow, like this card is insane. But so many times you just get shops and you're like, pitch Mana Drain to Force of Will. Hope you don't have another play. Like,
you got your 3 mana and they've got like 3 spheres out. So you're like, oh,
Mana Drain. Wish you were I wish you were a Steel Sabotage, or should I say a Null? So yeah, there's Brainstorm back to probably play fetch land. All right. Yeah, that's pretty far ahead then.
Yeah, I can't see how many cards, but there's a few. What's that mana off? What's that?
That was off the Mana Drain remaining because there were 3 mana.
3, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, this is just build up cards in hand, is it? I mean, it feels bad, but when you're against a Jason, you know they're going to bury you in card advantage. Do you just build up cards in hand, find 2 combo pieces, deploy one combo they have to answer, then deploy the second combo in the same turn and hope you overload their resources?
Easier said than done.
It feels bad. Like, it's not.
I mean, that's why Force of Will exists, right? So you can't get overloaded with...
Exactly. And then they get two halves of two different combos left on the battlefield, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's why W said he struggles against the control matchup.
Yep.
Because you can be like, sure, you resolve Time Vault, and then I'll just counter the key. Or like, sure, you resolve Helm, but I'll just counter the ley line.
Yeah, definitely. We were brewing after the tournament, and he was asking me what we should change to improve the control matchup, and he's got some secret tech. So next time we see Vintage, he's going to rock up with either this or with an extreme upgrade.
Well, I noticed in the last time I played him, he added Chains of Mephistopheles.
Yep, that's in the list already. But
yes.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, should I go up on that?" I'm not imitating Brendan. That's not how he talks.
That's how because he looks quite composed here.
He is.
But if you've ever met him, he just talks like that.
I just accidentally slipped and hit myself in the throat whilst I was talking. And that came out at an inopportune time. Sorry, Brendan, that was not me trying to imitate you. No, not intended. He was saying, should I go up on more chains?
Really funny. You should have gone with the imitation again.
That's right. This is how he was saying it.
Giving him the squeaky voice the second time round.
So what's happened here? We have Snapcaster Mage being deployed, and
there was a Time Walk in Chucky's hand, right?
Oh man,
Time Walk, Snap Time Walk.
That's disgusting. All right, here comes Leyline Hardcast.
Half a combo.
Yep.
Makes. What did Snap get anyway? I think we were laughing too much.
It didn't. Yeah, was it just an end of turn snap for beats?
Sure.
Oh no, sorry. There's Grafdigger's Cage out. We've done this again. Grafdigger's Cage. That's why he didn't flashback Time War. He just played the guy for beats.
Makes sense. And he's going to get in there. Yeah.
That's it.
Saves you having to, even consider Fate Sealing with Jace.
Yeah, you've got a win con.
Got a faster win con.
Here's a VT. Yep. VT losing 2 life. Now, since the life totals are equal, it means the game is basically a draw.
It's a draw.
Yeah, it's very even. But unfortunately, Brendan is going to be buried in card advantage, and there's already a win con on the table, as he said.
Well, Python did not name Jace.
Well, it didn't. So it's probably Dak Faden, right? No, it definitely is a long word at the top and a short word at the bottom.
Oh, I can't even see that much.
Because the bottom word is 3 letters and the top word is a long word. So is it voltaic key?
Could be. That's some good deductive skills.
Let's hope. I think I left a texter on the table for people to write on, but I think, not writing with a pen is just so natural for everyone.
We all know how W's, right? Sorry. I hope that doesn't stick, Brendan.
That was... Okay, note to self, don't lean my chin on my drink bottle whilst doing commentary, because accidentally you hit yourself in the throat and make 4 ongoing gags.
Guys, there's no water bottle inside, I guarantee it.
I don't know why I'm still doing it now, because it's risky. This could happen again and I could be seen as propagating this bullying. So this was the VT for something, and the something goes on top. We don't know what something is.
Something like that?
Yeah. I mean, when you're this far ahead, just getting counterspells is good.
I think we had a similar conversation in the last game, didn't we?
Yeah. Actually deploying lands? I mean, you've got a Jace Brainstorm. Like, Jace Brainstorm with a fetch out. Do you even deploy lands?
I guess
hardcast Force of Will?
I'd deploy Talarian, because it's...
Oh, no, but he's going to shuffle away the thing he VT'd for. Oh...
Or did he draw it?
No, I think he VT'd and then he shuffled.
Surely not.
Because how did he draw it?
Was it an EOT VT?
That mana there, that Underground Sea is tapped.
Or was it an upkeep VT?
It could have been a main phase VT then Brainstorm Jace, but I didn't
see the Brainstorm Jace.
I didn't see Brainstorm.
Acol. He must have got it, because surely he would have VT'd Acol, right?
Yeah, just get ahead. He's just getting ahead with the VT for Acol. Yeah, surely he didn't shuffle. I must have we just missed when it was drawn. Must have been Jace Brainstorm or something. Anyway, so is there a confusion about when this happened? this was end of turn or in response to something. Or upkeep or... That's all right. I think there's just confusion about what... Anyway, we're back on Trucky's turn, and he's got the threat and he's got the card advantage, so he's so far ahead. I still don't know about deploying Tolarian Academy. Right. Like, it's a lot of mana, but just brainstorm it back, right? You don't need mana here.
Look, I would keep it if I had Force and Drain, and I wanted to keep up both in the same turn.
Hard casting Forces. I'm playing another fetch here, though. I mean, are the other two cards terrible on top?
Yeah, I don't know how many cards he's got in hand. Maybe
sometimes you just put the fetch back on top and keep the actual legit cards, spells in hand. Yeah, Brendan's being flooded here, so that's
when playing against Brendan, he did get flooded a lot when I but I
guess he's not on a preordained deck, is he?
He's not on a preordained deck, and he's also got a very high curve.
Yeah, true. He needs those.
Because he's got like ley lines, which he wants to hard cast. He's got that Rune Halo, Meddling Mage, Gideon's Meddling Halo.
Yes.
And Enduring Ideal, which he doesn't have much cheating mana for.
He just casts
beyond normal vintage deck, so he's just casting it. He's not cheating it in any way. Doesn't run like Academy Rector or anything. Could run Academy Rector. Oh no, he was telling me he doesn't run any creatures at all.
Yeah, so he just never gets oathed.
Right.
Yeah,
we have ways around that.
I hear there's a forum that can change that dynamic. So this is still Trucky's turn, and he is deciding on how far ahead. Just attack the Snapcaster, right? Just brainstorm every turn and attack the Snapcaster.
Yeah, everyone loves a good Fate Seal, but everyone's wrong.
There's already a win con, right? It's already a 5-turn win con.
Yeah, that's it. Like I think we were saying it in the earlier match. 5 turns go like that when Brennan's just top decking random trollop.
Yeah, yep.
There you go, and it's even less now if he's going to crack another fetch and tap a tomb.
Yeah. Well, at least it's an Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, also shortened to Urgmoth.
Urgmoth. Yeah, it's true. It could just be Urgmoth. I think.
Yeah, because the Ancient Tomb is just
he doesn't...
Do you think the Ancient Tomb is referring to Yawgmoth's tomb, and it's just a very old one nearby, which also taps for black,
tomb.
As well as taps for...
A lot of people...
That's just a Mistveil Plains. He fetched Mistveil Plains.
What does that card do?
It is one of these Lorwyn lands or Shadowmoor lands, whatever it is, something like that. That is a plane, so you can fetch them, and then they do like different things depending on the color of it.
And they tap
and taps for the color of that relevant color. And Mistveil Plains has an activated ability that is put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Activate it only if you control 2 or more white permanents. Thank you, Tech Team.
So he's putting Helm of Obedience on the bottom. It just got countered. That Helm of Obedience would have won the game, by the way, if it resolved. I mean, I don't think it was ever going to resolve. But
it's funny to be going, oh yeah, so far ahead. But you could just string together 3 different three different half combo pieces if you've already got one half on the board, which is Leyline.
That's it. 2-turn clock.
Oh, that's right. The other reason why. Oh no, that's right. Things are being exiled by Leyline because later in the game, Leyline was cast. That's why the Time Walker's still in the bin. It's been that long. Anyway, Beats by Dre, also known as Notion Thief. Do you Fate Seal here?
I brainstorm.
Yeah, because he's got a fetch land, right? So you just brainstorm.
That's it. You win next turn, so you just want to draw another force, right?
Yeah, just draw as many counterspells as you can, and it's going on top. But it was a reader. So it's like, oh, I'm bluffing. Do you want to crack your fetch land or not?
A long text, you reckon?
End of turn, crack to get a scrub land, and I was going to say activate Mistveil Plains, but
what do you? You could have Phyrexian Unlife here, mate, off the top. Big rips. That card in hand.
Unlife. Yeah.
Thought sees into Phyrexian Unlife, mate.
That one card that's been in hand all this game could easily, or not, recent times, could easily be a half a combo piece that he's been sandbagging. So we'll see. Because he's got so much mana. He's got Black Lotus. I mean, is it a... Not saying that you should, but is it one where you go, deploy Helm, he counters it, deploy second Helm by shocking yourself, and doesn't get countered, activate. Win.
Thoughtseize Phyrexian Unlife?
That's games. Well, that was... although Brendan's deck didn't play out, to its fullest potential, there were so many times where it was like, do you have an answer for this? Otherwise I win. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see Brendan back, not in this tournament, but in another, with another spicy brew, I'm sure. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.